Hey y'all, what's going on? It's your girl Ryan Nicole Honey Deluxe, and I am back after a long hiatus of 8 months. There is a reason why I was gone for 8 months, and I'm getting ready to tell you the story and update and sort of get back into the groove of things with honeydeluxe.com and my YouTube channel. So I hope you all have been well. I hope your life has been full of blessings and energy and positive things. So to start off, I no longer am a teacher. I no longer teach in my school anymore. It was a very, very, very tough decision. It is probably the biggest leap of faith that I have ever taken, because now I work completely for myself as a visual artist. For those who do not know, I actually am a portrait artist here in Chicago. So in order to understand why I did it, let me backtrack. So I moved to Chicago to become a founding teacher at this school. I was the founding art teacher. Amazing staff, amazing principal, just everything. I personally did not feel like, I was a little leery to move from my hometown of Cincinnati to come to Chicago. But I did anyway. That was a leap of faith, calculated leap, but nonetheless, and I'm kind of unwilling to go, but I went anyway to get out of Cincinnati. So I was at the school for 2 years. It was growing pains the first year, and just adjusting to culture and people and just different things. So then I was going to leave after the first year, talked it out, came back year 2. So this is about January of 2015. I started having feelings like, I don't know if I'm completely content here. I'm giving my all, I'm giving everything, and there's a lesson in me giving my all and giving everything that I learned after I left the school. So January I was feeling I was like, you know what, I'm gonna shake it off. It's just January blues, we're coming into the end of the school year. So, and I'm just anxious already. So April runs around for pump brakes. Also, I had a lot of responsibilities this second year going in, more than I had my first year. And that was an issue with the first year. I just felt like I was offered too much to do, and trying to master everything and still keep peace for myself didn't work out. Second year, the same thing. And I'm just kind of like, you know what? This isn't going to work. So basically what happened is I went home for spring break, and I go to a church in Cincinnati. It's amazing, called Crossroads. My dad is a volunteer. He works there. My Uncle Jack. I just have family that attend, and a lot of my friends. So we were starting the Brave journey at Crossroads, and it was absolutely about faith. What are your fears? What are you going to get over? What act of faith? And it's all based on the scripture of when Jesus and the disciples are at sea, and the clouds, clouds are coming in, the storm is rocking the boat, everybody is frightened, and Jesus comes down from the mountain and is walking on water to tell them, be not afraid. And they're just like, it's just a ghost. And they said, and Jesus like, I'm not a ghost, it's me, y'all know me. And Peter says, listen, Master, if it is you, call me onto the water and I will come. And Jesus said, come. And so Peter is the first one to step out of the boat to walk on water. And as he's walking on water, he's like, oh my God, I'm doing this. Then he looks down and he begins to sink, and then he starts to panic. And of course, Jesus grabs him and says, oh, ye little faith, why? I'm right here. And that was the premise of the Brave journey. It was awesome. They had like Brave groups you can partner with, and you can follow the journey online. And that's what I did. So I wrote down what my fear was, and my biggest fear is failure and not being able to support myself. Like basic necessities, not even shopping and little trinkets and going out, but just basic rent, electric, food, water, basic necessities. So my leap of faith was, I'm going to leave the school this year and I'm going to do art full time. So that was in April. Come back to school, things are seeming okay, again, like I said, I had a ton of responsibilities. I didn't have the most easy. It was, without being negative, it just wasn't the right space for me. I felt like this isn't the right space for me. No one did anything to me. I just felt like this wasn't the right space for me. So come April, I'm still going through it. Some words got back to me. People trying to talk to me. You need to do this. No, I was completely done. And something else happened. I was just completely done with it. So, being positive, I went to my principal and I said, hey, you know what? I'm not coming back next year. I can't. And it wasn't so much what was going on in the school. It was what was going on inside of me saying, you want to do art, do art. Working there, I wasn't able to create because I come home exhausted and tired. So I told my principal, I think mid-May. That was a huge off my shoulder. So went through the rest of the school year. My last day, I literally broke down in tears in front of someone that I trusted, one of my good, amazing, sweet, wonderful girlfriends. I broke down in front of her, and then I realized, like, oh my God, I'm on my own. I no longer have a steady income. I no longer have someone to answer to. I no longer like, oh, I gotta hustle. And so that became my challenge and my leap of faith that I took. I took a leap of faith in jumping in something that I have been gifted with from God to be, who's creative and can paint people. But in this world, this is what my spirit is telling, but in this world, art is not viewed as something as a necessity. It is an undesired materialism to certain people, to a lot of people. And that's because I think art has been created in a space that it's so grandiose that you have to have this caliber of intellect and culture, and it's not true. My art is accessible. For me, I started doing portraits because I was tired of the negative images of African Americans being presented in all forms of media. And if I was going to do something about it, I was going to create positive, loving images of us, point blank, period. And that's what I do. And so that was in June. So because I'm a teacher, of course I got paid through the, so I budgeted my money out. Come August, I was really starting to feel it because I was selling smaller pieces, but nothing substantial, nothing that I thought was going to be. And I knew it was going to be a challenge. I think being an artist, one of the most problematic and challenging issues is not just selling art, but when you get in that weird space when someone says they're going to buy something and then they don't. And they keep having that behavior. I've actually cut off people, potential clients, because they kept reneging on their purchase. They kept coming up. Listen, if you can't afford it, don't say you can afford it. And that's with anything. You know, you window shop, that's fine, but don't send me personal message. And this is honest. This is no knock to them, but for anybody that's interested in art, when you buy art, please keep in mind that some artists, this is our livelihood. So number one, if you can't afford it, just say you can't afford it. Or you might want an original, but all you can afford is a print. Either one, buy the print if you want something, or two, save up. But don't say I can't, and I won't. And that was a challenge that I had to learn to deal with. Like, this is just the market, the industry. With anything, people have more important things to invest and spend their money on. I understand, but don't try and impress me saying you're gonna buy it and you never do. Or my favorite is, so I get a discount, right? Why? Because we both black. You think you can get a discount? That's another issue, but that's a whole nother rant and conversation. Back to the point. So come September, I realized, I said, okay, what are my other gifts besides art? I started Honey Deluxe. It's been 5 different names for this blog, but Honey Deluxe kind of just stuck. And I said, you know what? I'm going to get my blog going again. I'm going to continue to do art, but I'm going to get my blog going again. I'm going to balance out what it is that I want to do. I'm such a person with a plethora of gifts and talents and just a breadth of creativity that art might not be the only thing. So I had to humble myself, and I went and got me a part-time job, which is really dope, and I'm very appreciative. So the lessons that I've learned in stepping out on faith are a couple. Number one, working at the school, the biggest lesson I learned is to give from your overflow and not your cup. I was giving directly from my cup and all of me. And I was wondering why I was stressed out. I was wondering why I had gained so much weight. I was wondering why on the inside I was so miserable. I wasn't content with what I was doing. And I had also given permission to several individuals to affect me. And that's something I stopped. So I just removed myself from everything to just focus solely on me and my growth and my faith. That was the first lesson. Second lesson is there's nothing wrong with humbling yourself and doing what you have to do. Of course, me being a Cancer, I always have these grandiose ideas about everything. And although I plan well, I at least have a plan. I always need to plan through A through double Z. And for that, it was me getting a part-time job. And I'm so thankful because where I work is actually at a coffee house where my art is actually being exhibited for free. I have a great relationship with the owner, and I thank God for him and his family every day for just taking me in and allowing me to work there. And it's humbling. It really, truly is humbling, and I'm thankful for it because maybe there's a part of me that I didn't want to acknowledge as was being arrogant about some things. So it's a humbling experience. So that's what I've been up to. I just got through two weeks ago. I did the master cleanse. I will do a separate video on the results for that and just how I'm able to have peace. So right now I'm getting the blog going again. I'm going to do more empowerment, more encouraging, and also just really want to help people understand, like, life is truly, truly, truly a journey. And although I left a well-paying teaching position, sometimes that comfort isn't, a well-paid job doesn't always lead to content and joy. So this journey that I'm on, from hustling my art, doing my blog, doing odds and ends things, still giving back to the community, this is good for me right now. You know, I'm only 31. I got a whole lot of life left in me. So that's what I've been up to, and I'll be posting some more videos. Thank y'all. Be blessed. Be well. Peace.